Okay, so this is a quick video to show you how I personally like to prepare Australian salmon. Australian salmon has a terrible reputation. Most people hate it, they say it's as good as cat food. I absolutely love it, but you need to prepare it right. Jacob was on, big salmon followed him up. Settle. And then, this big boy. Alright, how about we process these? The target species for this day wasn't actually salmon. The wind and the swell were both pretty substantial this day, so I thought I'd go for some big snapper. We have a Port Jackson. Port Jackson.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
No. Obviously we're not going to keep this Port Jackson shark. He was safely released, but still pretty cool to catch.
Come here.
The blood you can see on the ground here isn't from the shark, it's actually from the salmon that I bled earlier.
Yeah.
No, it's actually the blood from the salmon, so it's alright.
Now let's get back to the salmon.
Off you go.
The first thing you want to do after catching a salmon is ikijimi. This is the Japanese way of brain spiking the fish. When done correctly, puts them to sleep straight away. And it also completely stops any movement in the flesh. Then you want to cut the gills and let the fish bleed out for at least 10 minutes. After this, you can throw the fish straight on ice or in a saltwater ice slurry. Ideally, you would scale the fish and then gut it as quickly as possible. Now the plan isn't to eat this fish sashimi style, but the purpose of gutting quickly is to reduce the risk of parasites coming from the organs into the flesh. Once you've gutted the fish, then you need to thoroughly clean the bloodline that runs on the inside of the stomach cavity. But that's actually one of 3 bloodlines. Australian salmon has 2 thick bloodlines that run on the outside of both sides, just under the skin. This is a personal preference, but I actually don't mind the flavour. And I like to get a crispy skin, so I leave that in. An important note here, paper towel is your best friend when it comes to preparing fish. I get the best results after scaling and drying thoroughly on the outside with paper towel, then filling the stomach cavity with paper towel and leaving in the fridge overnight. 1 to 2 days is a perfect dry age for Australian salmon. Before cooking on the pan with ginger, butter and some herbs, I like to salt the outside for about 15 minutes to draw any additional moisture out of the skin. You want the pan hot but not enough to completely burn the butter, and you want to cook the fish skin side down most of the way through. Then a final flip to finish it off and you'll end up with beautiful, juicy Australian salmon. Next time you catch one, rather than throwing it back and calling it cat food, why not try cooking it on the pan just like this? You might be surprised.